Okay. So ladies, 3 Om chants, and then we will start doing the Guru Aarti, yeah? Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Okay. So for those who weren't there, and since I'm recording, I'll do a very quick summary of the Guru's Aarti. The Guru Aarti was actually done at, I think if I'm not mistaken, Guru Nanak was at Jagannath Puri. And there they told him, come and do the Aarti. And then, yeah. Everyone, please mute yourselves. And if you need to speak, then unmute and you are welcome to speak. Yeah. So then when I think he just burst into this song because he probably he had a vision where he kind of said, my God, this is the whole universe is doing Aarti to the Lord. And this is the song he sang. As I said, this is a quick summary because Gagan mein thal rava chanda deepak bane, तारका मंडल जनक मोती धूप मलयान लो पवन चवरो करे sagal ban raye bhulant jyoti. The sky is your platter, and here you will see the keywords. Gagan is the sky, is your platter. The sun and moon are the deepaks or the diyas that are lit up in the Aarti. The stars in the sky are the pearls. The dhoop, the incense, is the fragrance that the wind propels. The whole forest is your flowers. And if you go to see, now if I sing the first 4 lines, see watch for the keywords. Gagan mein thal rav chanda deepak bane, तारका मंडल जनक मोती धूप मलियान लो पवन चवरो करे सगल बन राय फूलंत ज्योति. Gagan, the sky. Thal, platter. Ravi and Chand, sun and moon. Tarka, Tara, mandal bane. Janakamoti, those are the stars in the sky are the pearls. So again, you will see the word here. Dhupa Malyanyo is the dhoop incense, is the fragrance that the wind propels. And the whole Sagala Banarai Pulanta Jyoti means the whole forest, ban, is like a literally your flowers. And then he says, Kaisi aarati hoye bhaya खंडन तेरी आरती अनहत शब्द वजंत भेरी. He said, oh, what a wonderful aarti. Kaisi aarti hoye. What is bhaya khandana? I told you last time, what is the bhaya khandana? Is
remove the fear.
That's right, Shalu. He who removes the fear. And Teri Artha, you are a destroyer of fear. The sound of your name, which is so subtle that it goes unheard, resounds endlessly. That unheard shabd, he always says, is one that is not really, it goes unheard, but it resounds endlessly. And we probably feel that's the Omkar he spoke about, or in the Hindus say, Om. And I love this next kind of 5-6 lines where he says, first I'll explain to you, Sahasa tava naina, सहस तव नैन नन नैन है तो ही कौ सहस मूरत नैन एक तो ही. Now he says you have 1,000 eyes, forms, feet, noses, and you have none. And the way I understand it is because he's formless, but yet he sees. Yet he sees, and yet he smells, and yet he moves, and yet he goes wherever we go. So you have 1,000 eyes, forms, feet, noses, and yet you have none. सहस पद बिमल नन एक पद गंध बिन सहस तव गंध इव चलत मोही. He says, I'm charmed. your light enlightens all. It is by the grace of the Guru that the real knowledge manifests. What pleases the Almighty is the Arti. Arti here, I would probably call the creation. Yeah. We are still doing, as I said, so I'm just going a little faster because we have done this a little more in details. And here, for me, it seems like the Vedant ke wo har jagah hai, लेकिन उसकी आंख होते हुए, हजार आंखें होते हुए, लेकिन फिर भी उसके पास आंख नहीं है, इन द सेंस के ही इज फॉर्मलेस. दैट इज व्हाट वी से ना, वेदांत इज फॉर्मलेस, लेकिन फिर भी आंख है, हाथ है, पांव है, बिकॉज ही इज watching everything. तो उसका मतलब how many eyes would he have? And then he says, हर चरण कमल मकरंद लोभित मनो अन दिन मोहे आए प्यासा. Now he says, I yearn for your lotus feet night and day. You know, Anadin mohe aaye pyasa. Here again you will see keywords that you will understand, and they are very easily understood. And he says, कृपा जल दे नानक सारंग को होए जाते तेरे नाय वासा. And he says, Nanak is like the thirsty bird that asks for a drop of water from you, O Lord. That drop, grace, will make Nanak find comfort in the uttering of your name. Because he says, I yearn for your lotus feet, I yearn for your name, but I need your grace. This is the way I hear it, see it. Nanak is like the thirsty bird that asks for a drop of water. And that drop, what is that drop? That grace that will give Nanak, where he will find comfort in the uttering of your name. Now, here the next part of the Arti is a composition of Sri Ravidas ji. All right. And then he says here, नाम तेरो आरती मजन मुरारे हर के नाम बिना झूठे सगल पसारे. नाम तेरो आसनो नाम तेरो उरसा नाम तेरो कैसरो ले छिटकारे. नाम तेरा अंबुला नाम तेरो चंदनो घास खस जपे नाम ले तुझ ही को चारे. नाम तेरा दीवा नाम तेरा बाती नाम तेरो तेल ले माही पसारे. नाम तेरे की जोत लगाई भयो जियारो भवन सगलारे. नाम तेरो तागा नाम फूल माला भार 18 सगल जुठारे. तेरो किया तुझ ही क्योर पो नाम तेरा तू ही चवर ढुलारे. 10 8 8 60 चारे खानी भयवर तन है सगल संसारे. कहे रविदास नाम तेरो आरती सत्य नाम हर भोग तुम्हारे. So these are the what Sant Ravidas says, and I'm going to go a little slowly because this is the new lesson as of now, because we are continuing explaining the Arti. In the first 2 lines, he says, Nam Tero Arti Majana Murari. He said, Oh Lord, your name is the Arti, your name is the flower, the saffron, and the sandalwood that is offered to you. Majan har ke naam bina, naam tero Arti, Majan Murari, har ke naam bina jute sagal pasare. So, that your name is the diya, the lamp, the oil, and the cotton that is lighted in it. With the light that your name gives out, the whole world is brightened. Your name is the thread, and your name is also the flowers that are strung into that thread. All that are offered to you is yours. Your name is the fly whisk that you use. The chant of your true name we offer to you. All is false except your name. Now we have understood this. He said, Har ke naam bina jhoote sagal pasare. Remember, he said that without your name, baki sab jhoot. See, that's next to that. नाम तेरो आरती मजन मुरारे, हर के नाम बिना, हरि के नाम बिना, झूठे सगल पसारे. Everything else is false. Naam tero asano, naam tero ursa. I think he said that naam tero, your asano is, I think, where you sit, the asan, where you sit. Naam tero ursa, naam tero kesaro le chitkar, jo hum kesar chitkate hain na, that is also, I mean, in other words, you are everything. You are everything. That's what he's saying. I had read a story in which, I think there was one great saint who was robbed. He was robbed. So, no, there was a robber who came running and he put the money that he had robbed in front of the saint, okay, and ran away. So, when the king came, he said, "You have robbed my money," and he took the saint and put him into jail. So the saint said, "I have not done," but anyway, he went back to jail. And then finally, maybe an onlooker or somebody said, "No, no, it was not him. It was this robber who just kept and put the money in front of the saint and told the king that you have, he's not really guilty of it." So he was released. So when somebody said, "My God, you had a terrible situation you went through yesterday," and I remember he saying, God was a robber. God was what he threw in front of me. Then the God who was a robber ran away. And then the king who is God came and said, "You have robbed me." And then God, as the king, put me into jail. And then the man who came and said I was not guilty, God came in his name and said I was not guilty. And the king, God, released me. So in other words, everything
Chakun, this is total acceptance.
Yes, absolutely, because he says Sabme Bhagwan.
Total acceptance.
Yeah. There is a book that Ma has written, I think, and in which I've always remembered about Meera, which I had not heard before. What she tells me is that also it seems that when she was going to the forest and the desert, she was so thirsty. She was so thirsty that and then it seems that there was a little boil because of her walking or whatever, which had become pussy and very painful. And finally that pus burst and she fell down, and there was that shepherd who came and gave her some water and whatever, helped her up. And he says, I don't fool you, you are everything. You're probably the boil, you're probably the pus in the boil, you're probably this desert, and you're also you. And I see you in every grain of sand. That is when Meera, she said, I don't need this murti anymore because I see you in every grain of sand. So this is what it is. So here Guru Nanak is saying, Naam tero kesaroli, you are the kesar, naam tero ambula, naam in English what? You are the, in English, let me read it out again. Your name is the flower, the saffron, and the sandalwood that is offered to you. Your name is the diya, the lamp, the oil, and the cotton that is lighted in it. With the light that your name gives out, the whole world is brightened. Your name is the thread, and your name also. So, वो जो माला है ना, that also उसमें जो thread है वो भी तुम हो, और जो उसमें जो फूल है वो भी तुम हो. There is another one, I think, where he says that. How many of you all must be knowing the Tum Thakur Tum Pe Ardas? Okay, so Tum Thakur Tum Pe Ardas, Jiva Pind Sab Teri Ras. I may be a little wrong, and if any Sikh is listening to me, he will forgive me if I do something wrong, but this is the way I have understood it. That everything is created by you. Tum Thakur Tum Pe Ardas, Jiva Pind Sab Teri Ras. Tum Mata Pita Hum Balak Teri. तुम्हारी कृपा ते सुख घनेरे. So with your grace, कितने कितने सुख हमें मिलते हैं, कोई न जाने तुम्हारा अंत. Nobody knows your end, your infinitude. कोई न जाने तुम्हारा अंत. ऊंचे ते ऊंचा भगवंत. God is higher than the highest. Sagala samagari तुम्हारे सूत्रधारी. And this is where this comes. The way I understand that everything that is in the world, तुम्हारे सूत्रधारी, सूत is, the thread. So here he says, but here otherwise, he says everything that is in the world. वो तुम्हारे सूत्रधारी है, they are like the necklaces in that thread, you know. तुम्हारे सूत्र, they are all connected. In other words, we are all connected by one thread. Sakal is samagari. Samagari kya? You know, if you understand, samagri is things, right? Sagal is
Yeah.
samagri. तुम्हारे सूत्रधारी.
Samagri is puja ka saman.
Samagri also, but also there are things, you know, Sagala Samagri is all things, you know, basically, you know, Puja ke saman, but also Sagala Samagri, or you can look at it as God's things also. But I prefer to look at it in a broader form and say, Sagala Samagari tumhare sutradhari, tumate
Since they are offering everything to God, you know, that's why they're calling it samagri.
So tumate, because you're all, and everything to God is after all, because you offer everything to God and everything becomes a prayer, everything becomes puja ka saman. So it can be looked in both ways, yeah. Sagala samagari tumare सूत्रधारी तुमते होए सो आज्ञाकारी. कि जो तुम करते हो ठीक है, तो हम आज्ञाकारी करके मान लेते हैं. दिस द वे आई अंडरस्टैंड इट. सगल समगरी तुम्हारे सूत्रधारी तुमते होए सो आज्ञाकारी. तुम्हारी गतमत तुम ही. You cannot question him. Why you made the universe, why there is karma, why people are suffering. तुमते होए सो आज्ञा, तुम्हारी गतमित तुम ही जानी. नानक दास
सदा कुर्बानी.
और तुम पर हमेशा कुर्बान जाता है, बिकॉज कई बातें हमें आपकी समझ में नहीं आती है, लेकिन आप ही जानो. तुम्हारी गतमित तुम ही जानी. नानक दास सदा कुर्बानी. Yeah. So again, you see the same line here is saying that everything that is highlighted with the light that your name, the whole world is brightened. Your name is the thread, and your name is also the flowers that are strung in that thread. All that I offer to you is yours. Your name is the flywist that you use. The chant of your true name we offer to you, all is false except your name. So now, if you read it again, or if you even watch that WhatsApp, you probably will understand what it says. Okay? Now, here the next one. Dhoop deep dhrit saj. Now, you know, while I'm singing it, try and catch hold of the keywords. Because, you know, when you're singing it at that time, maybe you will not open the book and say, what does it mean? But when it is being sung in the Gurdwara or whenever you sing it, catch the keywords and you will get the whole purport of the whole thing, right? Dhoop deep dhrit saj. Okay, now the following part of the Aarti is composed by Sant Sai Ji. As I told you, most of the Guru Granth Sahib, there is words of Kabir Ji, Kabir of Sai Ji. There are so many saints that have contributed. So the first part that we sung of the Guru Nanak Aarti is by Guru Nanak. The second part was Sai Ravidas. And now the third part is that of Sant Sanji. I don't know whether it's Sanji or Sanji. It's Sanji. धूप दीप धृत साजे आरती वार न जाऊं कमलापति मंगला हर मंगलानित मंगल राजा राम राय को उत्तम दियरा निर्मल भाति तू ही निरंजन कमलापति राम भगत रामानंद जाने पूरन परमानंद बखाने मदन मूरत भय तारे गोविंद सैन. I think it's Sen because he says सैन भजे भजे भज परमानंद. सुन संध्या तेरी देव देवाकर अधपति आदि समाई सेठ समाधि तेरो अंत नहीं पाया लागे रहे शरणाई ले आरती पुरख निरंजन सतगुर पूजो भाई थारा ब्रह्मा निगम बिचारे अलख न लखिया जाई तत तेल नाम किया बाती, दीपक दे उजियारा, ज्योत लाए जगदीश जगाया, बूझे बूझन हारा, पंचे शबद अनाहत बाजे, संगे सारंग पानी, कबीर दास तेरी आरती कीनी, निरंकार निर्वाणी. So we will do it up to here. Now here he says, धूप दीप धृत साज आरती. The way I understand it is, धूप लगाया, दीप लगाया, उससे हमारी आरती सजी. Correct? You know? And Mangala Har Mangala, I mean auspiciousness and auspiciousness. नित्य मंगल राजा राम राय को, कि हमेशा मंगल होवे Ram Rai. As I told you, Ram and Hari come many times in the Guru Granth Sahib. नित्य मंगल राजा राम राय को, उत्तम दियरा निर्मल बाती. 1 minute, it is here. Oh Lord, your name is the Aarti, your name is the flower, the saffron. That is already, but isn't this also already? No, this is done here. The flowers that are strung into Dhupa Deepa Dhrita Saja Aarti. 1 minute. But here it's not given. This explanation is not given. Okay. Dhupa Deepa Dhrita Saja Aarti Varana Jau Kamalapati. So what it's saying is that your Aarti, the way I understand it, is Saji Hui with Dhoop and Deep. Mangala Har Mangala. If anyone can think of another meaning, because this meaning is Nitya Mangala Raja Ram Rai ko, कि Raja Ram ko bhi auspiciousness, like, Jai Ho. Auspiciousness would be Jai Ho. Mangala, he is using Mangala, but when they don't we say Jai Ho, So, Uttam Diyara Nirmal Bati, the Diya, the Bati, Tu hi Niranjana Kamalapati. He said, you are the Diya, you are the Bati. Kamalapati is, I think, Shri Ram. Because I think Kamalapati, if I'm not mistaken, is either Narayan, because Lakshmi ka Pati, or probably Shri Ram here, I don't know. Ram Bhagat Ramanand Jane Purana Paramanand Bakhane Madan Murad Bhay Tare Govind Sen Bhane Bhaj Paramanand. So we pray to you. You pray to all of that. You are Tu Hi Niranjan. Ram Bhagat Ramanand Jane Purana Paramanand Bakhane Madan Murat Bhay Tare Govind San Bhaje Bhaj Paramanand. I pray to you and you all pray to here. So I presume it's that. Shalu, if you have yours open, you can tell us what it says in your app.
Yeah, but I have the lyrics, but I have to Google the meaning. It's not with meaning.
Yeah. So basically, but the way I understand it from the keywords, it has to be that only, And here it says, again, the next one is by Sant Kabir, and it goes, I think, I don't know, still not giving me 10 minutes. Sun Sandhya Teri Deva Devakar Adpati Adi Samai. So, Sun Sandhya Teri Deva. Sun in the Sandhya Teri Deva Devakar, O Lord, Adpati Adi Samai means jahan sab kuch samaya hua hai. This is the way I understand it. Siddha Samai te ant nahi paya. The meaning of this is here, that the greatest of yogis have not been able to comprehend you. Because he says, Siddha Samadhi tera ant nahi paya. This is very clear. Correct? Please, girls, finger, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yeah. So अंत नहीं पाया, लागे रहे शरणाई, तुम्हारे शरण में लगे हुए हैं, ले हो आरती हो पुरख निरंजन. I offer this आरती to you. So ले हो आरती पुरख निरंजन, ले हो आरती पुरख निरंजन, सतगुरु पूजो भाई, सतगुरु को पूजो, थादा ब्रह्मा निगम बिचारे अलख न लखिया जाए। प्रोबेबली एवरीबडी तुम्हारा सोच करते हैं लेकिन उसका अलख नहीं पा सके, उसका अगेन लाइक अंत नहीं पा सके। Yes, anybody here? This is the way I see it, and I'll read them because this part is translated. And then he says, "Tat tel naam ki abati, दीपक दे उजियारा." सो जो बाती बनाई है वो तेरे नाम की बाती बनाई है, और दीपक उजियारा दे रहा है। ज्योत लाए जगदीश जगाया, बूझे बूझनहारा। I'll explain this here. The greatest of yogis have not been able to comprehend you. Those who worship the unmanifest fail to realize you. Even those who manifest, because they say, because Krishna tells also to Arjun, he says कि जो तुम देख रहे हो वो हमारे योगी भी नहीं देख पाए. When he gives them that vision. Girls, how many are with me? Everybody is with me? In the Gita it says, you know, कि जो जब उसको वो when he gives him the दिव्य दृष्टि to Arjun, he says योगियों ने देखा है मेरे रूप, लेकिन ये रूप मेरा किस अभी तक नहीं देखा. मतलब very few may have had the privilege to see this. So he says कि साध्य समाधि, जो समाधि करते हैं वो भी तेरा अंत नहीं पा सके. Those who worship the unmanifest fail to realize you, even though they have persevered in their quest. You know, he said even though they persevere in their quest, फिर भी वो तुम्हें नहीं, तुम्हें अलग नहीं, तुम्हें देख नहीं पा सके the way you truly are. And only he can hear on who grace descends. You know, pray to your Sadguru. Remember, he says it. Hamra khushi करे सवा, no, 1 minute. So, and only he can hear who grace descends. Pray to your Sadguru, Almighty Lord. Accept the arti with the oil lit, the chant of your name. He says, accept the oil. Then he says, didn't he say here that Leo तत्त तेल नाम की आबाती, दीपक दे उजियारा, ज्योत लाए जगदीश जगाया, बूझे बूझनहारा, पंचे शब्द अनाहद बाजे, संगे सारंग पानी, कबीर दास तेरी आरती कीरी, निरंकार निर्वाणी. Accept the arti with the oil lit with the chant of your name, you the Lord of the universe. Kabir Das performs the arti of the beyond description and without form. Isn't this beautiful?
It's beautiful, absolutely.
But it is of the beyond description and without form. There is more, and the following is again by Dhanaji, but that
you know, Shakun, only who can see beyond form can perform this arti.
And that is what Guru Nanak did. No, when Guru Nanak was asked to come and perform the arti, the real original arti, you know, he realized that, you know, I mean, आरती तो चल रही है, किसकी आरती करें? वो चल रही. You know, I'm going to stop the recording now, but we will continue because we have a few 9 minutes we can chat, and let's see what I can do with it. Yeah. So I'm going to stop the recording now.